need to have the live stream going? There we go. And hold on one more second.
Hold that kirtan melody, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Green light. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajak Acharya. Stotra Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shanmakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhana ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Mayapur Dham ki jai, Shri Dwarka Dham ki jai, Shri Ayodhya Dham ki jai, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Tulsi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Yamuna Devi ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution ki jai, Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled Vaishnavas, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Jai, 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 Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gurudas Prabhu. And welcome to everyone for Srimad Bhagavatam class with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami and friends. It is Friday, October 13th, 2023. And we are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 25, tonight, starting with text 5. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have 5. Going once, going twice. Text 5 it is, as far as I know. And we'll see if Maharaj joins us tonight. We never know, but he may. And I'm so glad that everyone could come. And I need to rest my voice tonight as well. So I'm hoping that if at all possible, Surabhi Kunj Mataji can monitor the chat window, and the reading and commenting might be handled by the assembled devotees, namely Gurudas Prabhu, Saraswati Mataji, Dana Mataji, Surabhi Kunj Mataji, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, and whomever else. Thank you so much for being here. Hare Krishna.
Vijay Krishna, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, Gurudas Prabhu. May I begin?
Sure.
Thank you very much. You're most kind. Text 5. Maitre Vacha Pitari Prashtite Ranyam Matu Priya Chikir Shaya Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsid Bhagavan Kapila Kila. Translation. Maitreya said, when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of the Bindu Sarovara to please his mother, Devahuti. Purport. In the absence of the father, it is the duty of the grown son to take charge of his mother and serve her to the best of his ability, so that she will not feel separation from her husband. And it is the duty of the husband to leave home as soon as there is a grown son to take charge of his wife and family affairs. That is the Vedic system of household life. One should not remain continually implicated in household affairs up to the time of death. He must leave. Family affairs and the wife may be taken charge of by a grown son.
Vijay Krishna, comment?
Yes, I liked it when I recited in the purport. That Srila Prabhupada insists on saying that quote, one should not remain, quote, that is the Vedic system of household life. Again, characteristically in Kali Yuga, people do not know what to do and how to do it with the human form of life. But if the person decides to get married, here we, from this purpose, we can extract a very clear instruction related to the system of household life, and related to the ending part of household life. Srila Prabhupada is very clear. The quote is, one should not remain continually implicated in household affairs up to the time of death. He must leave. And of course, he should leave only when the family affairs and the wife could be there being taken care of by the grown son. So whenever I'm dealing with the books of Srila Prabhupada, I try to extract the most practical tips, instructions in order for me to do my devotional life, and in order to advise people who come to me in search for counseling or something of the sort. That is my comment. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Something you said, Prabhu, sparked a thought in me about this purport. You focused on that one sentence. That is the Vedic system of household life. I was just thinking that, so the Acharya says to people in general, if you want household life, everybody works together. It's like a transcendental relay race, in one sense. The father takes care of the family. And then when this grown son is ready, the father passes the baton. That's what came to my mind. I don't know how valid this image is, but the father passes the baton to the grown son and says, here, what I've been doing regarding the family, especially my wife, now it's your job. And by your taking the baton, I can now go and practice austerities. I think, I don't usually toot my own horn, but I think that's somehow a nice thing, a nice image, that every part of the family does its part, like a well-oiled machine, in a sense. The father does his household duties. And then when he's primed the children, he's primed the son to take over the household. He's primed the daughter, he's gotten her married. It seems like Prabhupada is pointing us in this direction of everybody knowing what they have to do in the family and doing it. You want family association? Okay, associate like a team, like a family. That's something that came to mind.
Yes, because of the comment you just presented to the Sangha, it came to my mind that Srila Prabhupada also said, if you have only one stick, you can break it very easily, but it is much more difficult to break a bundle of sticks altogether.
I think that's a little different, but it is connected somehow or other.
Yeah,
think-
union is the force in Grihastha ashram. Of course, it depends on how the head of the family raises the family, but united for the purpose of all of us making use of the Grihastha ashram in order to all of us obtain spiritual advancement.
Yeah, the father is waiting. The father is patient and training. Ideally, the father, but also the mother is there, and she's also mature in devotion and for performing her duties. And they're training up their children to take on their responsibilities in this family, and also whenever their own family manifests.
And for them to be introduced in human society, because the family life is not an isolated thing. If you have a family, most probably the family will be connected with the social tissue and neighbors, colleagues at work, so many people with whom you should behave in order to elevate them as much and as best as possible, in the sense of teaching them to adopt Krishna as the center of their lives. We get married and raise children and procreate in order to raise our children in Krishna consciousness, for the purpose of becoming a part of the bigger family. At this moment in the planet, 7 billion people, or something of the sort.
A question, I heard 7.2.
It's not that we do Grihastha ashram in the isolated way. We do it for all the members of the family, to help the bigger family to become spiritually uplifted. That is the moral obligation of the family unit in the ultimate sense. It's not a selfish project. It is a selfless project. And one of the symptoms is that the Grihastha, before honoring prasada, he goes out in the streets to call for the people. Before he honors prasada, he calls for the people. Come to my house to honor prasada. He calls the neighbors, the friends, the colleagues at work, if they're available. So that is a very strong symptom related to family life being meant for favoring the spiritual upliftment of the bigger family, Krishna's family, all his parts and parcels.
Kendra Prabhu has a few comments. He said, I like Srila Prabhupada's 3-word sentence here. He should leave. Seems like not too many are leaving as of yet. This is why I feel Maharaj's Vanaprastha Adventure series is so important. It's an ashram for which we require more role models. Even though we read this verse on Wednesday, there's much to be said on this important topic, especially since so many families these days are so very, very dysfunctional.
Yeah. I was just reading recently in another part of the 3rd canto. I think the chapter is called Pregnancy of Diti in the Evening. Where, as we know, Diti is moved by Cupid to interrupt Kashyap's meditation for sex at an inappropriate time. But what I was thinking of is the many verses Kashyapa responds to his wife, how the wife is my words, the anchor of the family, she holds the family together. She holds the husband's spiritual life together. She protects the husband. Many verses, combining the verses and purports, glorifying the role of the wife in the family and in Krishna conscious society, and how one who has a wife who's acting properly is actually protected in his spiritual life.
Protected and very fortunate.
Yeah.
A disobedient, unchaste wife, like we already said in the Sangha, the wife of Panchatattva Das Prabhu said it, because I asked, what if the wife is not chaste and obedient and in favor of the Krishna consciousness of her husband? Then the wife of Panchatattva Das Prabhu said, if it happens like that, maybe such apparently unfortunate event could be used for the husband to take Vanaprastha or sannyas if he wants. So an obedient and chaste wife, always in favor of the development of the Krishna consciousness of her husband, is an essential factor for the family life, to avoid becoming, like Ekendra Das Prabhu is saying, dysfunctional. And yes, Praveen, Surabhi Mataji, there's one comment from Praveen Prabhu.
Yes, Praveen Krishna says, since wife has to stay home, so that means Vanaprastha is not for wife. Staying home means she has to engage in family activities. So even if husband leaves home, she can continue with her normal life. Question.
Yes, husband and wife together.
Can-
I always heard that Vanaprastha is meant for husband and wife to travel through the holy places, no? Together. And then when the husband takes sannyas, then he delivers the wife to his oldest son. But while in Vanaprastha, the wife is allowed to travel through the for the purpose of visiting the holy places with her husband. That is one of the characteristics of Vanaprastha, if I'm not wrong.
I also remember Jayadvaita Maharaj answered this question a few months ago. One of my god sisters asked him about this exact question about, like, is there vanaprastha for the wife? And he said that when she stays at home, it's not that she's still engaging in like family activities. She's engaged in Krishna consciousness and inspiring the rest of the family to take up Krishna consciousness. She's like the spiritual head. So it's not the same like family activities as it was before.
Somebody like to read the next verse? There's no purport to text 6, so whoever reads the next verse, text 6, can also read text 7. Okay, I guess that's me. Text 6. Tamasinam karmanam tattva margagradarshanam svasutam devahutyaha datu samsmarati vacha. Translation. When Kapila, who could show her the ultimate goal of the absolute truth, was sitting leisurely before her, Devahuti remembered the words Brahma had spoken to her, and she therefore began to question Kapila as follows. 7. Devahutiruvacha nirvina nitaram bhuman asad indriyatarshanat yena sambhavyamanena papanandam tama prabhu. Translation. Devahuti said, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Purport. Here the word asad indriya tarshanat is significant. Asat means impermanent, temporary, and indriya means senses. Thus, asad indriya tarshanat means, quote, from being agitated by the temporary manifest senses of the material body, unquote. We are evolving through different statuses of material bodily existence, sometimes in a human body, sometimes in an animal body. Therefore, the engagements of our material senses are also changing. Anything which changes is called temporary or asat. We should know that beyond these temporary senses are our permanent senses, which are now covered by the material body. The permanent senses, being contaminated by matter, are not acting properly. Devotional service, therefore, involves freeing the senses from this contamination. When the contamination is completely removed and the senses act in the purity of unalloyed Krishna consciousness, we have reached sadindriya, or eternal sensory activities. Eternal sensory activities are called devotional service, whereas temporary sensual activities are called sense gratification. Unless one becomes tired of material sense gratification, there is no opportunity to hear transcendental messages from a person like Kapila. Devahuti expressed that she was tired. Now that her husband had left home, she wanted to get relief by hearing the instructions of Lord Kapila. So if I'm supposed to start the discussion, here's a thought that I had. And this is, I'm amazed at how different the relationship of Devahuti is with her son, the Lord, from Yamuna Devi's, Yashoda Devi's relationship with Lord Krishna. I don't know if that means anything or has any impact on anyone else, but I was struck by how immediately in verse 7, Devahuti is addressing her son as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and revealing her mind to him. I'm very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. So she takes the position of a very advanced soul approaching her spiritual master. And we know, of course, that Yashoda, in her supreme position as mother, did not even recognize her son as God whatsoever. This is just my dear, sweet, lovable Krishna. There are many other points in this purport. I don't want to crowd anyone else from speaking, but that's something I thought of.
Praveen Krishna asks, how is it that one gets tired? In this world, no one seems to be tired of material enjoyment.
If I may, well, you get tired in this material world because you get old. I'm 62 years old, and one of the symptoms of aging, of becoming old, is that you get tired because the machine, the body as a machine, actually a dead machine, has a time, a duration of time relating in relation to operating in the most operational way. But as soon as old age sets in, you will feel tired. I promise you that. Everything changes. For example, tired of seeing. The eyes you had when you were a youngster, you don't have it anymore when you're 62 years old. So even in the sense of deterioration of the machine that the body is, you do get tired. That is my answer to your question, Praveen Prabhu. And I don't know how old you are, but I am 62 already, and I can feel that my at least my eyes. I'm using glasses now for reading. And why? Because the eyes related to the expected deterioration of the material body because of aging do get tired. That's why you need the help of glasses. Hare Krishna.
62 years young.
Saraswati Mataji says, conditional souls are in denial about how no amount of sense enjoyment ever satisfies them.
And there's one from Akendra also.
And Ikendra Prabhu says, great comment, Vijay Krishna Prabhu. I would add that even before old age, if you are awake and intelligent, you notice that there's so much pain, embarrassment, frustration, bewilderment, and general suffering we must accept for every ounce of happiness. A smart person gets tired of that.
Yes. And I repeat it, so much pain, embarrassment, frustration, bewilderment, and general suffering we must accept for every ounce of happiness. A smart person gets tired of that, and that's why intelligent people try to solve the problem by adopting their lives any available process related to getting out of this problem, because our intrinsic nature is to be happy by the second, related to the spiritual way of being happy, because we are spiritual souls. It's not that it's normal for us to suffer first in order for us to become happy. No, by nature we are always happy. But as soon as we accept the material body, then it's like Ekendra Prabhu is saying, so much pain for just an ounce, for every ounce of happiness. That is characteristically what material happiness entails. So, and in order to solve the problem, we really need to submit ourselves to spiritual training in order to recover from this disease, the material disease.
Ekendra Prabhu said, in response to Saraswati Mataji's, what she spoke, the denial that Saraswati Mataji speaks of, it's necessary to be in denial. Otherwise, we'd have to admit that our materialistic worldview is 100% wrong. And hardly anyone wants to admit that.
So as a highly intelligent and advanced soul, Devahuti takes that directly to the Lord. That's the beginning of her instruction by the Lord. she's bringing that very developed and intelligent complaint. It's very personal. It's revealing her mind that I have this problem. My Lord, my senses are giving me so much difficulty. What can I do?
Ekendra Prabhu said, we are heavily, heavily, heavily invested in maintaining our own illusions. And the Guru wants to cut those attachments.
It's kind of Kendra Prabhu, it sounds like you're saying it's kind of a struggle within ourselves, and the Guru is there as our supreme friend and helper. He's there to do what we our mind won't allow us to do. Just absolutely refuse to give up the false ego, refuse to give up sense gratification. But we make a vow to follow the Guru. And the Guru Kendra Prabhu, you put it perfectly. I should definitely stop speaking.
Praveen Krishna has a question. Since Devahuti had completely controlled her senses while serving husband Kardama, shall we understand the statement as her humility?
Wow, that's really interesting.
If I may, my answer is no. I do believe that she does feel sick. It's not a show of humility.
No, I don't think he was saying that she was putting on a show of humility. She actually feels that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She actually feels that. But the very end of the question by Praveen Prabhu is, shall we understand this statement as her humility? The statement given to us by the translation of text 7. And I don't think it's a show of humility. I think that she actually feels sick because of the disturbance caused by her material senses. I don't think that these people, people like Devahuti, of the spiritual caliber of Devahuti, after all, she got as her son the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Devahuti is not an ordinary woman or mother or wife. I don't think that these people who are so advanced speak things, declare, make statements which are not actually real, like felt, mostly when they are speaking about their own feelings. No, I'm not feeling like that, but just because I am the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or something of the sort, let me teach people how to behave. I I may be wrong, but I think that because they are as advanced as they are, they do actually feel what they say they feel. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I think, I don't know who is the Acharya who said that I am worse in Caitanya-caritamrta, I am worse than the worm in the stool.
Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami.
Exactly. And is it that he's saying that just because of a show of humility? No, he actually feels like that. Otherwise, he wouldn't say it.
With due respect, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, there's no fault with what you're saying, but I don't think that's exactly the point that that was being asked about. I think we can understand that the pure devotee is feeling like that, but one ensconced in material consciousness like me should see that statement as one of extreme humility coming from a pure soul. So both things are there. Both things are there. Those who are following in the footsteps regard the statements of a great soul as extraordinarily humble, while the great soul, for reasons inconceivable to the followers, we can understand or we accept with faith that they feel that they're actually in that position. That's my understanding, and I don't know if that's acceptable to the Vaishnavas.
Ekendra Prabhu says, for Praveen Krishna Prabhu, her humility and her clear consciousness, she's aware of her situation in material existence. Humility equals reality. And Gurudas Prabhu said, we should always understand the statements of the pure devotee as humility.
Well, the answer I gave to Praveen Prabhu was very technical, because I understood his question as very technical. And I insist on saying, not a show of humility. She actually feels what she's saying. And then the question of people who say like this, being humble or not, that is a different department. That is a different subject. If the question of Praveen Prabhu is it that it is just a show of humility, or is it that she actually feels sick? My answer, I insist on saying, my answer is that she actually feels sick. It's not a show of humility. Now, is it that Mother Devahuti is a humble devotee? That is a different question. And then we need to make the required research. Humble. If we say yes, Mother Devahuti is humble, let's see why is it that she is categorized as a humble devotee. That is a different question. I accepted the question of Praveen Prabhu as being, she's saying like she's saying, and I need to know, is it that she is saying just because of show off, or is it that she actually feels what she's saying? My answer, I insist on saying, my answer is that she actually feels. Now, is it that Mother Devahuti is a humble devotee? That is a different question. And if we say yes, Mother Devahuti is a humble devotee because she's pure, etc., and so on. Well, one of the symptoms to be mentioned in relation to categorizing her as humble, okay, she's pure. And of course, pure means humble. But that is the different question.
Saraswati Mata, you said you would like to read text 8.
Okay, pranams to everyone. Just a second here. Tasya tvam tamasondhyasya dushparasya dya paragam satyaksur janmanamante labdham tvad anugrahat. Your lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkness region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental I, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. Purport. This verse is very instructive since it indicates the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple. The disciple or conditioned soul is put into this darkest region of ignorance and therefore is entangled in the material existence of sense gratification. It is very difficult to get out of this entanglement and attain freedom. But if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a spiritual master like Kapil Muni or his representative, then by his grace, one can be delivered from the mire of ignorance. The spiritual master is therefore worshipped as one who delivers the disciple from the mire of ignorance with the light of the torch of knowledge. The word paragam is very significant. Paragam refers to one who can take the disciple to the other side. This side is conditioned life. The other side is the life of freedom. The spiritual master takes the disciple to the other side by opening his eyes with knowledge. We are suffering simply because of ignorance. By the instructions of the spiritual master, the darkness of ignorance is removed, and thus the disciple is enabled to go to the side of freedom. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that after many, many births, one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, if after many, many births, one is able to find a bona fide spiritual master and surrender to such a bona fide representative of Krishna, one can be taken to the side of the light. So some thoughts that come to me, very often it's said that an analogy is given that the conditioned souls are like thrown in Bhavasagar, the dreadful unlimited ocean of dukkham, misery. And in this ocean, no matter how strong a swimmer you are, you cannot cross this unlimited ocean on your own. And we know that in conditional life, in this material universe, there are three kinds of misery. You've got the adhyatmika, which is misery caused by the body and the mind, and that adhibhutika, suffering that's caused by other living entities, which, you know, in this ocean, there's aquatics, and that can also cause more problems to you. And adhidevika, which is misery caused by natural disasters. I mean, you can think of like things that are under the control of higher authorities, like tsunami, if you're in an ocean, storms, vortexes, all of these things that make it really almost impossible to cross the ocean of material existence. And we are told that in order to cross this ocean, you need a strong boat, which they said is the human body. And this is very rarely achieved human body out of the 8,400,000 species of life to actually finally evolve and get to the position of having a human body is surdulabam, extremely rare. So the human body is the boat that gives you an opportunity to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Now, for this boat to even move in the correct direction, you need an expert navigator. That is your guru. Guru and Shastra. We need these navigators so that we are not just drifting, the boat's not just drifting aimlessly. And also you need a favorable wind, which is Krishna Kripa. So you need all these three things in order to make this crossing from material existence to one of spiritual existence, which, and also in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that you have to accept the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, because it says the ocean of the material world is then becomes like the water contained in a calf's hoof print. So it's very easy to cross over. At any rate, you have to make advancement in Krishna consciousness to try and completely get out of this, which you can't do on your own. And in order to really get your eternal body of Satchit Anand. So these are some of the thoughts that are coming to my mind. Haribol.
A lot of wonderful points there, Mata. She's turning to her son, who is also her spiritual master, the Supreme Lord, because she wants to get out. She wants liberation, and she knows that her Supreme Lord Son will lead her there.
I just wanted to add, if I may, sometimes you hear people saying that, oh, someone's taken sannyas or left home. A man has taken sannyas and left home. And sometimes some people try and say, oh, well, that's just an avoidance of carrying out his duties. And they make that action to be deplorable. But really, you have to understand that a man who is seeking exclusive love of Krishna, which all of us have to ultimately do, is leaving home for the benefit of everyone, really. His advancement in spiritual life is going to carry benefits for the rest of his family members. So there is such a thing as detachment with love. Sometimes we think, oh, detachment means, that he's averse to, or he doesn't want to fulfill his role and duties as someone providing for his family. But really, it's such a thing as detachment with love. So that is also important. But I know I've heard sometimes women criticize a man who's taken sannyas and say, oh, well, he just wanted to avoid his duties, and look what has happened now. Especially if there are no responsible sons to take care of the mother, then they just think that he's being cruel and he shouldn't have done it. But they don't understand that all of us have to ultimately have exclusive love for Krishna. We can't be forever entangled in the family that we've been born into, and then we've become attached. So we've made a family. We can't just be living forever in that situation, because as it's been pointed out, these are temporary relationships, illusory. So thank you. Those are some thoughts I have.
Mother Sachi is the supreme example of the mother whose family member leaves home for a sannyasana, even though she's in knowledge. As a devotee, she's completely attached to Lord Chaitanya. Both of those things can exist. By her example, we see that both of those things can exist simultaneously in their highest form. That she understands the need for sannyas, but also because of her love, feels completely bereft. The persons that you speak of, Saraswati Mata might be lacking or have a poor fund of knowledge. It sounds to me the way you were describing that those persons who criticize one who leaves home to take sannyas, especially if they're claimed to be devotees, is that they're the category of how Prabhupada describes persons who they want to stay in the family conception. They don't want the family conception to end, so they stay in it until, way past their time, or the business person or the politician who stays in his post way past the time because they're attached to the mundane conception or the material conception. And that's a very sad circumstance. They can't admit to themselves. Perhaps they think that they don't have a realization that they're going to die also. That they have to do something about their spiritual situation, and it's not about carrying out material duties. I hope that was that made sense. There's something in the chat, Mata.
So, Ekendra Prabhu said, Jai, thank you, Saraswati Mataji, Hare Krishna. Praveen Krishna says, one wife was angry with husband because he joined the temple full time. He seemed to have fulfilled his responsibilities with grown-up sons, but she needed him at home, saying his responsibility is pending. Is there a line when we can say that he is done with his responsibilities, or it is to be decided by his family members? Question.
If I may, Praveen Prabhu and all the members of the Sangha, the one who decides when to leave is the head of the family. That's why he is the head of the family. That is my answer to your question. And Srila Prabhupada is a very good example. When he saw that his wife she did use his copy of Bhagavatam to exchange for biscuits for her tea, he took the decision, enough is enough, and he left. And of course, he didn't leave because of only because of his copy of Srimad Bhagavatam being exchanged for the biscuits, but he was the head of the family. And yes, I insist on my answer to your question, Praveen Prabhu. Because he is the head of the family, he is the one who takes the decision. I don't think it's that he needs to take advice from. He has, because he is the head of the family, he has the final word, and it may happen that he may leave after meeting with all the members of the family in order to take such a decision. But if needed, like Srila Prabhupada did, because he's the head of the family, and because being the head of the family, he has the final word related to when to leave, he leaves. He is entitled to do it. And then, of course, he may be questioned, why did you leave? And he will, if he thinks it to be proper, he will answer all the questions. But I think my answer is because he is the head of the the head of a family is the one who is entitled to make such a decision. after meeting with all the members of the family or not? That is my answer to your question, Praveen Prabhu.
And Saraswati Mataji says the ages for each ashram has been given. Varnashram at 50, sannyas at 75. Ikendra Prabhu says from Lilamrita, Srila Prabhupada, before leaving my family, I wanted to get all my sons and daughters married, but some of them disagreed. But then the time is up. Never mind whether they are married or not. Let them see to their own business. Suppose I die immediately. Who will take care of my daughter? At that time, we say, God will take care. Then why not now? God will take care. My Guru Maharaj used to say that renunciation of family life was civil suicide. If you commit suicide, that is criminal. But that renunciation of family is voluntarily committing suicide. Now I am dead. Whatever you like, you do. And we are out of time.
And Mother Surabi, Lord Jesus said, to one of his followers, I think, I cannot go with you now. I cannot become your disciple now. I need to go and bury a relative who just passed, who just died. And Lord Jesus said, let the dead take care of the dead, or something of the sort. And he obeyed and followed and forgot about going to bury the dead relative.
Kendra Prabhu,
And
Saraswati has made a point about the chat going over.
yeah, Gurdas Prabhu said, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, you are very correct. The wife's duty is to follow her husband. If the husband decides to take sannyas, the faithful wife takes that in stride and continues to perform her duty. If one's faith is not strong, then she criticizes. Praveen Krishna says, thank you, everyone. So I think we are out of time. So maybe someone should lead Kirtan.
I started us off, perhaps someone else can. Venkatesh Prabhu or Praveen, do you feel like leading Kirtan?
Vijay Krishna Prabhu, you can lead Kirtan if you like.
Who just spoke now, Surabi Mataji?
Yes.
Yes, thank you for the invitation. Yes, I can do it. Surabi Mataji, can you hear my mridanga?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtotada Shata Shri Srimad Sua Divina Graça A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Founder Acharya of ISKCON Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Chayu Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mathur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Brihad Mridanga Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo.
Jai. Thank you so much, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, and to everyone. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jayadvaita Swami's friends Ki Jai.
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 Have a good weekend, everyone. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday.
The same to you.
Samaveta Bhakta Binda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.